YouTube? It's Dave Wave here to get you caught up on the latest coverage. The Miami Dolphins practice against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Advent Health Training Center yesterday and today. I'm going to give y'all my take and all the news, but first I want to talk about the depth chart release for Saturday's preseason game, which I might go to. This is the first of the Mike McDaniel program, and to me the first depth chart, it can reveal a lot. I mean, it can tell you what the coaches are looking at, what the coaches might be thinking. Coach Mike McDaniel was using these practices against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a real test against another team. He's not just looking at it as just joint practices, just a regular practice. He's looking at it as, you know, I want to try to evaluate them in a game scenario, and that's what he's doing. You know, he don't want them to go ham just in the preseason games. If I was coaching the team, I would probably have the ones play maybe just one series and then let Teddy Bridgewater get the second and third, and then Skylar Thompson, let him handle the fourth quarter. At running back, Edmonds and Mostert are going to get a lot of snaps. I noticed that they're both listed as running backs one, which sounds like a monster being formed, you know, to have them as both running back ones. I want to see Jared Dokes and Zaquandre White get a split share of some carries. They both potential power backs. I think Dokes needs to step up, or Zaquandre White can definitely be his undoing as a power running, which is what we're missing right now. In camp, White has been getting some, you know, he's been getting some runs in. Chris, I hope you evaluate that position, that power running back position. If Dokes doesn't explode as a running back, I think maybe, I mean, he's still young. We should probably put him back on the practice squad this year and work him out as a fullback in that Andre Franklin type mode. At some point, I want to evaluate Sony Michel this preseason, so I got that on the list. And I want to see Ingo making some impact blocks in the run game, and I also want to be evaluating pass protection from our running backs, because that's just as important as them running the football. At a wide receiver, Waddle and Hill might not even play, but it's the cheetah and the penguin. We already know what they can do. I want to see Seti Wilson and Easy E and them boys showcase. They've been flashing and impressing the coaches. Braylon Sanders deserves to get plenty of reps, definitely. You know, he's earned it in my opinion. It's just been obvious ability and it's been visible in camp. He got a lot of comp in front of him though with Preston Williams. Preston Williams made a real good catch on day one. He made some plays in day one. And River Craycraft, who's also been getting open in practice. River Craycraft, he could be the next, he might be the next 7-Eleven. Y'all don't know if y'all remember 7-Eleven that was on our squad. I think his name was Chris Hogan. He used to get open for us. The Patriots ended up adding him to their room when they had Julian and Wes Welker. And, you know, he ended up being a player for them. We might have slept on Chris Hogan. Maybe we should have kept him on the roster. I mean, obviously, and the Patriots do that, you know. Every team in the league kind of steals players from their divisional opponents, but it seemed like the Patriots got a habit of doing that as of late. But Preston Williams and Lynn Bowden Jr., they may get showcased because they're two players that have been recently linked in trade talks. We'll see what happens. Y'all know I'm waiting to hear something so I can post it and break it down for y'all. At tight end, Mike Gesicki, Durham Smythe, who I do want to see elevate his game to get to the 500-yard receiving mark. I want to see Hunter Long this preseason. And we tried to trade Adam Shaheen. Y'all know how much I've been wanting us to trade Adam Shaheen. I mean, I think he got a lot of upside. They was, you know, some of the scout reports on him was saying that he could possibly be a Gronk light, but he's just been bad luck in the red zone. Seems like every time Tua try to throw him the ball, it's like he got to force it to him, and it's like a possible pick. And so it ain't really his ability. I just think he's bad luck. That's the only reason why I wanted to get rid of Shaheen, but seemed like it didn't go through. We was trying to get Houston Texans 2023 6th-round pick and swap that for our 7th-round 2023 pick. And it seemed like we got Houston Texans working for us. Like we always trying to strike deals with them. We've been making a lot of trades with them, you know, over the years. And it seemed like Chris got a little hidden relationship with one of their front office people the way. He's like, look, man, you help me out, I help you out. I see y'all trying to rebuild, y'all breaking y'all whole team down. Let us get some of these players that y'all trying to get rid of. Smart, Chris Gray. I see you. You got people in your back pocket. That's what I'm talking about. Make them deals, Chris. But I was interested to see how we set up the offensive line, and that left tackle looks like Teron Armstead, T-Stead. He gonna start there. Liam Eichenberg is gonna start at left guard. Connor Williams is gonna start at center. Robert Hunt is gonna be at the right guard spot. Seems like he just solidified that spot again this year, and we moved Austin Jackson to right tackle. I know a lot of y'all have, there's fans out there who they think that Austin Jackson is a bust, but Austin is young. I think he's gonna have a tremendous career, in my opinion, because he's so young. And in the short period of time, when you include this year between Flores and Mike McDaniel, he will have played and gotten experience at 3 different positions on the O-line: left tackle, left guard, and now right tackle. Experience and reps is how players improve. Solomon Kelly, I'm rooting for you, dog, but you ain't been making no noise, man. You gotta tighten up. Both joint practices, you have not been showing up, is what I've been hearing. So I want to see you turn it on this Saturday game and show the coaches why they should keep you on the roster. Now, I'm rooting for you, Solomon. I want to see how our UFDAs perform. O-line, Trevor Penning. He's an O-lineman that we added as an undrafted free agent. Guard Matt Waletzko out of North Dakota. They say he's similar to the Bills' Spencer Brown. I want to see that in preseason. Guard Bernard Raymond. I want to see how he performs in preseason. On the defensive lineup, again, the core starters, they probably won't play much. But I do hope to see DB Trill Williams out there on the field. Trill been out there balling and attacking the ball. He deserves reps in the preseason. I hope Shannon Tindall can also showcase early and often. And I want to see all the UFDA showcase. Veron McKinley III especially, because he played on that Oregon Ducks team with Javon Holland. So maybe he could be a possible steal for us that we was able to pick up, who can maybe get some first team and second team reps at some point. Maybe take Sheldrick Redwine's position. Ben Steele, I want to see Ben Steele get some playing time. Cameron Good also. Ben Steele, I think, I've been hearing his name in camp, so he should get some reps. Let's talk about injuries that they've been reporting for the joint practice. We got multiple players that are returned for both sessions, including offensive lineman Michael Dieter, who had a foot injury he was dealing with. Safety Clayton Fedulum had an undisclosed injury, and cornerback Elijah Campbell also came back from an illness. Sheldrick Redwine had an undisclosed injury, and fullback John Lovett also came back from an undisclosed injury. They all were spotted at practice and wearing the jerseys but not the pads. Punter Thomas Morstead came back from an undisclosed injury. He returned to practice, but he was limited. Ingo remained in a non-contact jersey. Cornerback Byron Jones, we gotta have him for the season, man. Hopefully that Achilles injury that he suffered is not too serious. If so, we're gonna need Noah Igbenogany, or Trill Williams, one of these cornerbacks to step up. One of these DBs gotta fill in his role. But he's on the physically unable to perform list still. Undrafted rookie Kader Kohu, who I want to see in the preseason. He sustained an apparent injury in team drills, but was later seen working with the trainers. Overall, we got out clean both practice sessions, which is what you hope for first and foremost. Can't say the same for Tampa Bay. They practiced without wide receivers Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, who remained sidelined with injuries. And they had 2 major scares in the first practice session. Wide receiver Russell Gage, he had to leave because he suffered some sort of leg injury. And then they sent a Robert Hainsey, who earned a starting role. He's going to be snapping the ball to Tom Brady this year. He got carted off the field, but luckily it was just leg cramps. I mean, it's hot out there in Tampa. We in Florida, goddammit. Y'all better have y'all Pedialyte ready on deck. because it's hot out here. Y'all got to make sure y'all ready, man. And I hope that we can take advantage of the weather this year. We should with all this speed. We should be able to take advantage of the weather and take advantage of how our stadium is built, where the opposing team is always in the sun. And not only are they gonna get tired on the field, but they're gonna have to deal with that heat sitting on the bench. You're gonna see players holding up that tarp or whatever they have, fans and all that blowing. They're gonna have to deal with that. So we gotta try to win early. That was Shula's path to victory. Is by week 8, he had a 6-2 record at least. So we gotta start fast. But the teams practiced and had plenty of drills and action in 1-on-1s, 7-on-7s, and 11-on-11s. They say Tua took the team out to dinner the day before the first joint practice and picked up the bill, which shows leadership, and he's been efficient in both practices, showing off the footwork and the aerial assault out there, getting the pigskin to the catches expeditiously. And there's some good highlights of multiple players making plays. Tua, I can say, from what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing from the clips, he's been accurate on both days. Day 1, he was hitting most of his short targets, the tight end Durham Smythe, Waddle, and Raheem Mostert, who seems like he's going to be involved in the passing game. In his first 11-on-11 work, Tua completed a pair of passes to Waddle and wide receiver Tyreek Hill. After that, you saw him throwing to his right and against his body, completing an intermediate pass to Hill along the sideline, which was a good play. In the next 11-on-11 drill, Tua was 3 for 3 with immediate completions to Hill, rookie wide receiver Eric Nzukama, and wide receiver Cedric Wilson Jr. There was 11-on-11 work that featured the offense driving the length of the field instead of staying at one spot like the previous sessions. Sometimes they want to have them just in one spot and just keep repping it on that part of the field to do down the distance. But this time they had the offense actually try to move the football and move the chains. And they say that Tua was 4 for 6 with a pair of completions to fullback Alec Ingold and passes to Wilson and Waddle. Ingold dropped Tua's first attempt in the flat, and then Tua's final attempt to Gesicki was kind of late. He didn't throw it on time on that one, but the Buccaneers linebacker Levante David made a nice play on the ball to deflect the pass. In Tua's final team drill on day 1, it showed 11-on-11 work that simulated a 2-minute drill, and it was okay. I mean, the running game wasn't really that good, but Tua himself, he was 5 for 6 with a pair of completions to Chase Edmonds and Hill and another to Waddle. Said he caught a pass from Tua that was slightly behind him, but he made an acrobatic effort to reach back and secure the pass over the middle of the field between 2 defenders. On a negative note on offense, from day 1, our running offense failed to get much traction against their defensive front. Y'all know how Todd Bowles finna do, man. He gonna have that defensive front, that D-line stout for the Bucs. Teddy Bridgewater, he did make some good plays, but he also had a problem protecting the football. That was also a negative. A couple of his good plays was when undrafted rookie wide receiver Braylon Sanders, like I said, he been making plays. He beat cornerback Zion McCullum on a deep route in 1-on-1s. And then Eric later got behind cornerback Don Gardner to bring in the long pass from Teddy. But then Teddy threw a pair of picks in team drills. The first came on 7-on-7 action. Carlton Davis for the Bucs, who's going to be a pretty good corner in this league. He undercut a pass that was behind wide receiver Preston Williams. Bridgewater, man, I think that might be a problem in your game, man, is sometimes you throw the ball too late or you throw it behind the receiver. That's what I didn't like about Tannehill. You got to get better at that. Bridgewater was later picked off by linebacker Devin White on the tip pass. Another negative was there was more bad shotgun snaps on day 1. They was kind of high. And we got to fix that before it happens in the game. I mean, there's going to be a time, we're going to play a team in the season and our back's going to be against the wall inside the 5 or 10 yard line. That could turn into a fumble touchdown or a safety for the other team. Connor Williams spoke with the media. He talked about going up against Vita Vea in day 1. And Vita Vea is challenging to go up against him because he got a low center of gravity. But Connor's a competitor. You know, he tried to hold his own, and even though the snaps have been high, he's working on that. So I'm gonna be patient with him. He comes from the Cowboys. I think he can get better. On defense, for day one, we started off slow but ramped up the intensity towards the end of practice. Our defense, they did do a good job of collapsing the run for the most part against the Bucs. Leonard Fournette, he didn't really play that good. Keon Crossen, he talked about the camaraderie on defense so far in that secondary, and he talked about attacking the ball like a bull, seeing red out there. I would say, without a doubt, Keon had probably one of the best plays in practice on defense, laying out to deflect the seam pass from Buccaneers quarterback Blaine Gabbert that was intended for wide receiver Vincent Smith. On the 2-minute drill for the Dolphins defense, Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady unofficially completed 5 for 8 passes. 4 of the passes were short, but he completed a long pass down the sideline with cornerback Noah Igbinoghene in coverage, who've been getting beat. The completion set up a made field goal for Tampa. On the 2-minute drill for the Dolphins defense, Brady also completed a long pass again. And defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah, he batted a Brady pass and registered a sack on that drive. For most of practice though, the Dolphins defense, like I said, they limited runs by the Buccaneers offense, kept most of the passes in front of them, which you saw that when Brian Flores was the head coach. Josh Boyer seemed like he implementing the same thing. Keep the ball in front of you. Don't get beat deep. You know, don't get embarrassed out there. Even though Julio did make a good play, and he did embarrass somebody out there. Y'all gonna see the clip. But yeah, Julio, if Julio can get that connection with Brady, it's gonna get ugly out there in their division. But Julio and Jalen Darden, they both had Noah at his disposal. Noah got to tighten up, man. He got to be more consistent. He just been way too flaky out there. You got to tighten up, man. But they was out there thudding it up in the hot sun. There was some possible scuffles, but nothing major. Christian Wilkins and Brandon Jones almost got into it with some of their players, but nothing major. Day 2 practice, Tampa Bay was without Russell Gage. Solomon Kinley, he struggled, man. He struggled and he didn't do much. Jalen Waddle balled in one-on-one drills. He must have got tired of seeing Tyreek Hill highlights, and he decided, man, I want to showcase and get on tape too. So he showed why he was able to break the rookie reception record last season during today's session, and his footwork and release allowed him to dominate the one-on-one drills, create separation against pretty much all of the cornerbacks that he was facing. And one of the negatives from yesterday was, like I said, our 2-minute drill, same problem today. Yesterday, our field goal unit couldn't get off the field fast enough during a 2-minute drill to attempt the kick. Today, they was having some problems. They was having some success on the drive that Tua had in 2 minutes, but then he was sacked and the period was over. We had some false starts and failed blocks, so that has to improve. One of the things that stood out in the joint practice today was that Skylar Thompson got some extended work. Teddy Bridgewater, he took a back seat because, man, he just been inconsistent. The ball placement hasn't been good. It needs to get better. Some of his deep deep passes have been on the money, but like I said, man, y'all fans focus too much on the deep pass. It's a great pass. But to win in this league, you got to be able to be accurate in the short and intermediate game. That takes a certain skill from certain quarterbacks. And Bridgewater, I've seen him play. He's going to be on time, but sometimes he can be a little late. Like, you got to be wide open for him to throw the ball sometimes. And that's why his numbers, they don't exceed a certain point when it comes to yardage and when it comes to touchdowns. And sometimes it don't seem like he's making the greatest impact all the time. He's inconsistent. But Skylar led the unit during team drills, and he made a number of big plays, including hitting a tight end, Tanner Connor, for a 40-yard touchdown. Then he had a shorter touchdown to Trent Sherfield. So, Skylar, I want to see how you do in the preseason, man. You opening up some eyes. People are looking at you right now. But that's all I got for today's talk about the joint sessions. Friday, I'll do a preview of the matchup, and I'll also have a post-game video after the game. But y'all stay tapped in. Please subscribe to the channel, and the support is greatly appreciated. Shout out to all the people who've already viewed all of the past videos and the Tours New Playbook series, which y'all gotta check out. But I do this for all the optimistic fans who support the team, for sure. Till next time, signing off, TBFN.